So I was working as an administrative assistant when I joined a direct sales company, and I was so outside my comfort zone. I mean, I was not comfortable standing up and speaking in front of people. But you know what? God has a sense of humor, because before I knew it, y'all, I was a leader in that company. I had left my full-time job. I was now a full-time entrepreneur, right? Building a team, growing my own business, and it was getting bigger and bigger, and more people were on my team, and I was being seen as the leader. Yikes. I had no leadership skills. And I was seeing people come on my team who would intimidate me, who they did have leadership skills. They were really smart women, sharp women who were looking for a strong leader. And so that's who I needed to become. You know what? It was such a gift and a blessing that God had placed in my life some servant hearted leaders who really were transformational leaders. They were not there all for their personal power and their personal gain, but they really were leading the way in putting people first and in making a difference in the lives of others. And so I began to grow and change and learn so much from them about what that meant to put other people first, to make it about the people and not about my profit, not about my position, not about how people were seeing me. And so it wasn't an overnight transition, but it was just a slow change where I was growing and transforming into the type of leader that they were. And so I remember specifically, I really had been blowing and going and working so hard. I was a self-proclaimed workaholic. I thought it was great to be striving, all the time and working all the time. And I was building this great business when I stumbled across the scripture that says, let nothing be done for selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind, esteem others better than yourself. And let nothing be done for selfish ambition or conceit. And God just kind of wrecked me right there. I got caught up right there. And I can remember going, nothing, Lord, like not one thing, not one thing for selfish ambition or conceit. Not one thing should be done for me and for my personal gain. And so that is when everything shifted about how I was leading. And it was no longer about me running out front, but about me saying, go ahead, right? Go ahead, go in front of me. It's okay. And recognizing that I needed to do what was best for the whole team. That meant I had to say no sometimes, or make an unpopular decision. Some really hard things happened during that time, but some really powerful things happened during that time as well, when you lead from a place of integrity, a place of character, a place that is spiritually and scripturally sound, making decisions that honor God and that make a difference for the right reasons. And so, that changed everything about how I was leading. During that time too, God began to call me to ministry, which was craziness, total craziness, that he was calling me to ministry. And so we launched a ministry in my community. I did with 3 other just community leaders, and it's just started growing. It just became very popular. And so I was over here in network marketing, and I'm over here in ministry doing these 2 things. And this business closed during 2020. And when that happened, I'm like, Lord, are you calling me to full-time ministry? Like I've always been in business, and suddenly what God did is marry those 2 things together. And we launched a business called Engage for More, which is to inspire women to engage and experience the more that Jesus came to offer. And that means engaging him in our relationships, and in our physical health and our mental health, and in our finances, and in our identity and our spiritual disciplines and our spiritual growth. And And so as we started that, not really knowing what God was going to do with it, he began to lead and guide and direct us. And we all became certified coaches. We launched a podcast, and God just continued to refine that until he really showed me that, yes, I could do some life coaching. Yes, I could do some business coaching, but he was really calling me to leadership coaching. And that what God is asking me to do is to pour into leaders who want to have a lasting impact in the lives of those that they lead. And so what that means is allowing God to transform the way we lead, right? So he can do a transformational work, not only in us, but also through us, and begin the transformational process in the lives of those around us, so that we're not only affecting their performance at work or on your team or in your whatever it is that you're leading, but so that you can impact their life, so that it'll change their children, it'll change their marriage, it'll change their finances, it will change everything about their life. And then that will have a ripple effect onto the people that they know. And so it just all begins when we recognize that God is our true CEO, and we are to be about our Father's business, especially if we have been placed in a position of leadership. And so that's just who I am. That's how I got to this place. It's crazy. I know. I don't know why me. I have no idea. I ask God that all the time. But my heart, my passion is to help Christian women rise up and lead out in a way that points others to Jesus. And if we are to do that, y'all, we can make such a difference in this world. We can make such an impact on the lives of others, not us, but God working through us. And I mean, isn't that really what our life is to be all about? It really is. So let's do it. Let's do it.